tour that began in Norway in the autumn of 1989 is almost over. There are autographs still to sign, and there are farewells. But there is still one more stop on the road, perhaps the most important of all.
Oh! I can't go, I'm going with it. Thanks for the lovely send-off. I'm so sad to see you go. What a nice 2 days. Bye.
Paul McCartney is getting back. He is going home to Liverpool. On Midsummer Day 1990, the Paul McCartney World Tour arrived in his hometown of Liverpool. After 102 concerts before 2 million people, the band had taken a 2-month break. But now they were back, and this concert was going to be the big one. Bigger even than Rio, because this was Paul's city. This is where it all began. However, for technical and personal reasons, he needed a preliminary show. He chose Glasgow.
And 40B. All right.
Hey,
yeah,
John.
It was a long time since Paul had played Glasgow. It was appropriate, therefore, that the highlight would be Mull of Kintyre, rehearsed with the Power of Scotland pipe band.
Right, well, we'll just do our bit. You join in. If it's a total cock-up, then we'll all go home.
Mull of Kintyre, a song Paul wrote about a part of Scotland that he and Linda loved, became one of the best-selling singles ever by a solo singer.
Hey, what about that? The Power of Scotland Pipe Band.
Hello, gang. How you doing? All right? I saw you rocking. I saw you in there.
I saw you popping.
We come to have a picky. You want to do a picky?
A cynic might say that a world tour is about money and publicity. To a degree, the cynic might be right. But what a cynic doesn't see is that the 100-page program was distributed free. What he doesn't see is what is personal to Paul and Linda, what comes from the heart. In Glasgow, most of the money went to charity, to the York Hill Children's Trust for Sick Children, to the Scottish Women's Aid for battered wives, to the Simon Community for the homeless and the destitute, and to children like these, the innocent victims. As Paul said, it's just my way of giving a little back.
You're welcome. What do we say, Linda?
You're welcome.
Going back to Liverpool with the band was like exciting for me. Because we were going to do a little show in Liverpool. We're taking this big show everywhere, Japan, Rio, everywhere. And we were going to go to Liverpool and do a little piddling little sort of, sorry, you only deserve half the show, you know. And I thought, can't do that, you know. So we had to hold out till we found a really good, exciting venue. And I happened to be driving past this big empty building site near the River Mersey. And so I asked the promoter, I said, "Will you have a look and see if there's a venue there?" So suddenly it became a big show.
Liverpool is an old city, a gateway to the West and one of the largest ports in the world. It's a tough city, a working-class city, but it's also a proud and generous city. Liverpool deserved the best he had to offer. If there was no venue big enough for the massive crowd, he would have to build one himself. He found the site on the King's Dock and built an arena that rose from the Mersey like a third cathedral.
When I was a kid in Liverpool, they had sort of street markets, you know, with blokes selling sets of crockery. And, you know, they'd start you off, £10, the lot, £10. I'm not asking £10, I'm not even asking 6, I'm not even asking 3. £1, you got it. It was all of that kind of street market thing, which has been replaced now, like most cities, with sort of inner city precincts and walkways and all of that. It's lost a lot of the character, you know, but so's everywhere. It's progress, isn't it? But there used to be places, like there was a place called the Dockers Umbrella, down by, near where we played, down by the docks. There was an overhead railway, and the dockers, when it was raining, used to go to work and we used to walk under that. Hence, it was called the Dockers Umbrella. When we started playing with the Beatles, we were doing gigs for kind of things like all the Coca-Cola you could drink, you know, a little bit different from today. And when you're playing that, you really feel you've got to be good. You've got to get an edge over the other bands. You've got to find what it is that's different about you. And you've got to struggle, you've got to play long and hard. And the man from the record company isn't going to come up to you and say, well, look, boys, you need amplifiers, I'll give you an advance. That started much later, you know. We had to buy the amps ourselves, so, you know, you really had to take good care of them. But I think, yeah, I think a tough environment has helped a lot of bands. You've got a lot of good bands come out of Liverpool, Glasgow, Newcastle. All these working towns often do spawn a lot of good talent, really. But the main thing about Liverpool that never changes is the people. No matter what they go through, you know, there's still that little twinkle.
Many of those who will attend the concert tonight were not born when Sgt. Pepper changed musical history.